Why is it always some old black and white boy telling us young fellas that we ain't relevant in a world that embellishes like a relative content from these elements? You call them stars, I call them settlements, cause they didn't settle for settlements built on a steady sediment. Ashes from the already crashed and burned, dust from past residents. So I can feel it in my bones, I'm feeling in the zone. More when I'm on the way, but the same when I'm feeling home. So I'm comfortable, I know you are too. Me and Powers R1D2, Star Wars Harvest Moon feastful. But please don't come peaceful, but kill that noise if it's at all equal. I tell you what, man, let's make it equal. So I can show you the math, but I don't do sequels. Instead, I'ma use physics to determine how we move. Use ethics to perspective our objective. Because our efforts to fulfill our destinies, the universe expected. So we gotta fight back, take the night back, take our lives back. Our efforts must be twice that of our enemies.
Yo, what's going on?
We
Back again. Back.
I'm supposed to be looking up here. We got a couple different angles going on.
Things going on. You got the IG thing going on.
Forgive
You got the
me.
YouTube.
That's why I'm
You're all over the place. Camera 1, 2, 3.
But
Happy to see y'all on the place.
thanks for tuning in, everybody. Facebook, IG, YouTube, whatever we doing right now.
Yo, shout out to everybody. Shout out the whole YouTube family. Shout out the Facebook family. The IG family. If you want to get on IG, go to Squadcast _crew, and Squadcast spelled SQUAD with a K _crew. That part.
Make sure you subscribe to all platforms at that.
Yeah, subscribe to Junkyard Gang, subscribe to Squadcast channel. I appreciate everybody that's affiliated with this big ass conglomerate that we got going on right now. Last but not least, shout out to Midwest Matthew, because a lot of this shit wouldn't be possible without this brother giving us the dopest facility and the dopest equipment to work with. So I definitely appreciate that, brother.
Thank you.
Hotep and all that. How y'all doing?
We're good. Let's get
It's
it.
the last day of the work week.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Friday.
Just ready to glow.
All that good
I
stuff.
can't do too much because we live. You know,
Yeah,
this get
yeah,
dropped
yeah.
like the next day usually. But anywho, got some stuff coming y'all's way tomorrow. So stay tuned for that on the book anyway. But I've been great.
That's good.
I'm happy. I'm relieved. I'm finna cry. I'm finna do all types of things. You know what I'm saying? Tears of joy. Woo! You know what I'm saying? Because you know, life is finna change for a sister. Moving on up from the east side.
Congratulations.
Thank you. How you doing, Brother Black?
I'm good. Living life. You know what I'm saying? Kid got sick today, so no school.
Oh, so you got that. I think you should have told me to bring my goddamn mask.
No, it's not none of that. You. Oh, me? Ain't this about
That brother is tainted.
Ain't this about, because I ain't got vaccinated, so they feel like they special. They
I didn't say nothing.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
I didn't say nothing.
Y'all ass is tainted too. Wait till I start shaking. I'm gonna just move to the side.
Now, Brother Black is off the sauce.
I'm gonna just move to the side because they
Don't do that.
It's
Don't
more,
do
it's better than last week.
that.
they tainted. That's all I'm saying. They tainted. They don't know they're tainted, but they tainted. They gotta get a fucking
How you
decent
doing,
shot.
Brother D?
I'm fine.
I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I'm you know, in cardboard box mode, boxing up the crib. Close next week. Move in the day after that. It's feeling good and be able to get that shit over with. But other than that, same demo, different day. Nothing really changed my way. Early.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be. So
Yo, Brother Sheffin, we see you. Hope all is well. You know what I'm saying? You take care of the family and all that good shit. And like my man said, Noobs and Pros, BJ, I hope you're still recovering well too.
That part. That one.
But yeah, you know,
what's the word for today, brother?
the word for the day is
Mm.
first dates. Like,
They still do them?
I think we still do
They still
though.
do them?
I think if you're courting the right woman, if you're courting the right woman, then you should be going on a first date. And, you know, that should be your time to try to get to know whoever you know what I'm saying, you're going on your date with.
Right.
But, you
That's
know,
what they do?
that's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Say it ain't so, please.
Say it
So
ain't
you're
so.
saying what's our take?
So in regards to first dates, when you coming up as a shorty, growing up, you got your uncles, aunts, cousins, and all that other good stuff. The older ones, because the younger ones. Did they groom you guys on what your first date is supposed to be like,
Hell
on
no.
expectations,
Hell no.
what the opposite sex is supposed to do, and things of that nature?
Nope.
Brother
Oh,
Black?
I mean, shit, ultimately, for me, when it comes to
Movies.
you know what I'm saying, seeing that type of atmosphere when I was a shorty, like, you know what I'm saying, before I was even into trying to really talk to females, just seeing, you know what I'm saying, cousins do what they do. It was just like motherfuckers was shooting a shot in traffic and just motherfuckers was going. So like that's just what it is. That's how it is. Like it's just that sweet. You just say a couple lines and they down to kick it and you know what I'm saying, do some strange for some change. Okay. That was like the ordeal I seen, so maybe I was a little tamed to begin with. But you know, I'm still working on it.
Alright,
I'm too
so
loud. Okay, my bad.
He's hyped, y'all. I was trying to tell him he was peaking, but I didn't want to interrupt his energy because he's bringing it today. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
But
or a lot.
no, I would say ultimately, I would say I picked up on a couple different things. I mean, I see like for me, like growing up in Chicago, I'm not gonna say it's different from being in Iowa, but it is different as far as when it comes to atmosphere and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. So when you're in traffic, motherfuckers, people just moving. So you might see, you know what I'm saying, cousin might see a lady or whatever, so you might shoot a shot or whatever, but they say sometimes you might say something outlandish. Yeah, and every female's not gonna be the same, brother. That's what I'm saying. So you're not going, hey baby girl, how you doing? You're not gonna use that.
We're not
Okay,
talking.
my bad.
We're not talking about shooting a shot. We're talking about
My bad.
first date. That's you're rambling. Stay.
So my bad.
Let me
First date,
back.
I would say you want to be nice, open the door, all that nice stuff.
Is that what you were taught?
Yeah,
Is that what you taught?
I was taught.
Now you're answering the question.
So I would say that's what I was taught. But seeing family members in the way that they move, when they was, I wouldn't say courting a young lady, but trying to talk to them, they would have their different ways of approaching the female.
Okay.
So that's why I would say, me seeing how they approach the female, even because that plays into a part of if you approach them in a different type of manner than if you was to try and court them, you're not going to try.
You've already approached them because you got the first date. So
okay,
we're past the approaching part.
I digress.
Please.
If I'm gonna do that, of course, if you're gonna be a gentleman, you're gonna open the door for them. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing.
And you was taught that.
Of course.
Okay.
That's the way. Open the door. You know what I'm saying? Making sure they taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
But how? Like, did they tell you? Are you supposed to dress a certain way, have a certain kind of look, say certain things? You know, as far as conversation.
Honestly, I never had that person give me that sort of conversation. I just picked up on different things that I've seen from family members.
Now I'm keeping it real.
Vice versa, whatever the case may be. But I can't say that somebody actually said, "Oh, you need to be courting this female." You know what I'm saying? I picked up on those different things on how I choose to deal with a woman for that matter. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. But I'll let y'all go. I don't want to keep rambling and going on.
Godmother, what you got? You want me to go?
She gonna have a mouthful of it. It's a woman. What you expect?
Brother DJ, what you got? So, I was taught a lot of different things. Of course, the women in my family told me when you go out on your first date, you don't dress like a bum. It depends on where you're going, is how you're going to dress. But no matter what, you're not going to dress like a bum. Personal hygiene at an all-time high. You smell good. You got to be able to hold conversation. So you got to,
make her laugh.
Definitely do that. Like Brother Black said, you open the door, close the door for them, you pull the chair out, scoot them in, things like that. All that I was taught from mostly the women in my family and a couple of the men. But, when you're a young man growing up in Chicago, cousins and, uncles, for me anyway, it was always how many girlfriends you got, you know what I'm saying? And are you got your willy wet yet? You know what I'm saying? It was like they really was on that, you know what I'm saying? And you can go two ways with that. You could feel the pressure,
that part.
You know what I'm saying, and cave, you know what I'm saying? Or you could just be your own person, you know what I'm saying, and follow your own path, you know what I'm saying? So I fell victim to the pressure a few times. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? But of course you grow up and you learn things and you implement them and you just do what you can do the best way you know how to do it. Right. But as far as first dates are concerned, That's what I was taught. I was taught that you have to do those certain type of things in order to be able to get the second date, the third date, and if that's the person that you really choose to pursue, like on the first date, whenever you guys had your first date, it's typically like movies, restaurant,
the basic shit.
You know what I'm saying?
The basic
shit like that.
The normal shit.
Because when you start out your first date, you're probably a teenager, so you're only going to be able to do so much. You know what I'm saying? So, but as an adult, right? Not me, as an adult, if nowadays when you go on your first date, and we're speaking on a hypothetical for us, because I know some of us people, on the panel are involved in shit like that. Mm-hmm. So we're going to speak from a hypothetical. What would, as an adult, would your expectations be on the first date? Is it the same as if you were as a teenager? Or did they change immensely knowing what you know now?
Change.
I wouldn't say it's the same. I would say change, but you still expect certain things to occur. Like, as far as for a woman, of a man, open the door, being courteous, that sort of thing. Regardless of if it's years past and you will be on your first date or now, you should still be doing those sort of things. If you're not doing that, something's wrong with fucking you. I'm sorry.
So, if you're just tuning in on the labs,
go ahead and kill
we're talking about growing up beliefs on what, first date?
First date.
First date, like what you were taught or what you knew to do from being taught growing up. From the clothes you wear, cologne, saving up all your money, getting flowers, whatever, perfume, all that, whatever, whatnot. And then in today's society, has that changed or is it different?
I definitely think that shit
changed. But she never really gave her input, so let her go ahead and get her shit.
On my behalf, as a female growing up, you don't never really get sit down like, yeah, baby girl. It's you ain't dating. You ain't having a man till you're about 50.
I'm your boyfriend.
I'm your only boyfriend. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So it was never that. Or, growing up, you see the movies, that you probably wasn't supposed to be watching, but you watched and stuff like that.
Cinemax.
That part.
And they showed you, like you said, the getting dressed up, being romantic, opening doors and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Which fairy tales, not always true.
Oh, but that's fairy tale. That shit don't happen on a normal basis.
It does. I mean,
I'm just saying.
It's just me, myself. I can only speak for myself. But me, myself, I like a man that does open doors, but to a certain extent. Like, I don't need you to do it every place we go, this, that, and the third. If that's something that you do, go ahead and open my shit up.
But this is her personal.
It's my personal. But like when it comes to the car and all that, like I could open my door faster than you could have walked around there to come open my shit up. So unless I got heels on, you know what I'm saying, drunk, then mine will, automatically open doors or come get me or help me out. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't all that. I'm ghetto. Ghetto bougie.
When you had your first date, did you have any expectations based on what you know or observed or anything like that coming up?
Yeah, my first date as an adult, or
no, as a teenager, and then as an adult. Because I'm pretty sure there was a big difference in
it's a very big difference because people nowadays, the first date is actually you text messaging back and forth, setting the arrangements up.
Damn date. That's
we try and people try and get to the point then and there. So it is very different. But from then and now,
it's sweltering. It's sweltering. Shout out Caps.
I'm not one to demand it, shall I say? Like I don't need no $1 million figure man. I don't need you to open my doors. This, that, and third. I don't need you to pay my rent. Do we want it? Yes, we do. It'd be nice. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but yeah, it's totally different. And
so when you had your first date, was he a corn billion or was he cool? Like was he was
great.
He was open doors and shit. Exactly.
I'm not stepping on you.
Okay, true. Brother Black, when you have your first date with the young lady, how
my first fuck Kim. Fuck Kim. My first date was, I was like, I think I was 17. I think the chick I took to the show was like 20. And of course I did all that fucking opening the door shit. I was a gentleman. That's how I was raised. Like, I've always been around my granny, so that's the epitome of being around a grandma. So if you don't do that kind of shit, what the fuck have they been teaching you all this time? You fucking cornbilly, as he say. Fuck out of here. But I mean, shit, for me, yeah, I did all that. Open the doors, all that shit. I was a gentleman the whole you did.
My first date, I think it went good.
You think?
I think it went pretty good. I would say
If he say you think you
that, let me see, because my first date was
Dang, yeah,
went a formal in high school.
Dang, that's the
And before that, we had went to Applebee's, and that's when the kid got his first margarita. Getting ID'd and nothing like that.
I couldn't wait. Sauce guy. He's sauce
It's all about how you conduct yourself in a manner. I on my grown manish at 17 and said, "Can I get a perfect margarita?" Thank you very much.
But in all reality, teen is probably more aggressive with that because they're growing up. They see that like, oh my god, but then and now,
I don't know because I think the generation now, because I keep saying this, is influenced by the rappers and the social media likes and all that stuff. Because a lot of the time, like not me, this ain't me, but you know how it is, the rappers being like, fuck them hoes and all that other stuff, and certain people, certain brothers, certain brothers actually gravitate towards that and run with it like that's the way to be, you know what I'm saying? And that's, you could use that on the opposite sex too, because some women say fuck the brothers and all that. So whatever, we talk about it all the time.
What I was getting into
was, I'm just saying,
in all reality, as a youngin', yes, of course, you're dreaming of someone doing all that. But as you get older, it's more so from the first communication of how you spit your game. Getting her panties wet is if you even gonna get the date. So a woman knows then on who she finna let in the
okay, that's your question. I've been dying to ask
before y'all even know you're finna get in
that's
the
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You already know 40.
They already know what I'm saying.
If you pop that bottle,
so
we already know.
When the person comes in,
before you pop that bottle, get that
so when the brother comes in, y'all already choosing.
Brother, he just said it.
I'm trying to people. Why you
just off of good looks, well dressed, money, this, you know what I'm saying? But it could be, let's see, I'm with my girl, you know what I'm saying? We go to the mall or something. We run across a group of guys, you know what I'm saying? They all trying to holler, but the one that sticks out is, hey, beautiful, how you doing today? Versus, hey, shorty, blah, 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 blah.
But,
oh, where you at tonight?
Can I retort that?
Some will respect that.
Because some women will, even though the brother might come at her respectfully, I'm just saying, even though the brother might come at the woman respectfully out of the pack of men that was coming at her like a ravished dog, in most cases in today's society,
they'll respond to the motherfucker with a rabid dog.
They probably won't respond to any of them because they all think that they're the same no matter what their approach is because they're together.
But it's
I'm telling you from what I've seen.
It's still depends on your effort. Because if you do the, hey, shawty, woo, 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 and she's like, oh, whatever, keep it moving, not paying you no mind. And you don't, furthermore, like, hey.
Exactly. You gotta track that.
I'm just saying that there are instances where that brother by default gets correlated with them.
Yes.
Because
the brother that's with the cater to them, or not even, you know what I'm saying? I just gonna mislay not greed, or you know what I'm saying?
Right, I'm saying the one that's coming in respectfully out of all the ravaged dogs. Even though he's coming in respectfully, I've seen that brother get declined because of who he's with and how the other ones approached him. Because even though he came at them differently, they look at them as the same. Like, he came at me different, he probably on the same shit as them. Don't tell me that women don't say that, because I've seen it.
I get what you said.
No,
that's what I'm saying. I'm
still saying that.
I'm just saying.
The one that mentioned it,
they
ended up
short.
opening her inbox when we come through it. Like, oh, yeah, sure, I see you at the mall.
If they doing that though, they cutting themselves short, because you stereotyping these different guys, just like we would do for a woman that's dressed naked compared to one that's not. You know what I'm saying? So we have to deflect from doing that type of tomfoolery as a whole.
So that's what I said. If you are the one that will still get categorized as the same as the others, you still got to put in more effort.
I get what you're saying. You're right. I mean,
this actually segues into the next thing. This segues into the next thing. You're gonna have a chance to bring this up, because what she said about how you continuously kind of approach her in a respectful way and things of that nature. Some people who was raised right, brought up the right way, will call that chivalry, but some people today will call that thirst, because you're constantly pursuing them, even though it's in a respectful manner.
So even when it comes to your game, shall I say, and then after that comes to your looks, your appearance, what you bring to the table. Not saying you have to come forth with, but what do you have to offer other than you asking for my number, trying to get some coochie? And then there's like, do my investigation. He has some good game. He ain't got no keys. Oh, he ain't with his baby mom. Boo, you got to go through all the steps. Some people don't do that. That's why you get fucked up in it. But you got to, I don't know, there's steps in my book. I'm not hit off a game of you hollering at me and, hey shorty, like I will not even try. I won't even turn around.
That's thirst. That's considered thirst.
That's what I said. If you can, hey shorty, or hey, how you doing? Woo woo, can I get your number? Like, I'll engage in a conversation and see what more is gonna come out your mouth.
So
can I take you out, or woo, let's link.
Say a brother comes to you and just respectfully, general conversation, that then after that, it can turn into, hey, I think you cool. Can we, link up later on whenever you free? Do you mind if I get your number? Is that okay? Is that considered thirst?
No.
Okay. I'm just asking, because like the way the younger generation look at things now is just everything is so thirst that men do. Like, oh, they thirsty.
Those are the ones that's, like I said, not their type. So you're thirsty because you're trying to holler at me and you're not even my type. Like, you're thirsty. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or if it was her type, even if he was the one, like, hey, bitch, you looking good in that little two-piece, like, you know what I'm saying? She's still gonna go because
I feel like they've never had that type of.
She might be attracted.
I don't feel that they've had that type of person approach them, and that's the reason why they act the way that they act. Period. They've never had an actual man approach them and actually be presentable and a gentleman and approach them with real words, so they just act fucking ignorant as a whole. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just saying. If a motherfucker approach you and actually coming to you with tact, how can you consider that motherfucker thirsty? That's the dumbest shit to me. And you wonder why motherfuckers be out here with all these fucked up ass situations, because you motherfuckers put yourself in these fucking situations. Fuck out of here.
So,
bathroom,
brother, don't do that.
I can't, because I got something else to go ahead.
If you got to go, you got to go.
Come on.
All right. Well,
motherfuckers, done piss me off.
So, as Brother Brent, he's got to take a potty break, but the show must go on. We're not gonna stop this thing rolling. But my thing is that I just don't understand where the whole thirst thing comes
I
from.
just told you.
I mean, I'm just,
Gave you your free
you
game.
did, but it's just like you look at the complaints of women in the community.
Because they've been through the community.
You stupid. And then you try to learn from that and change your approach to where you come at them respectfully, and then all of a sudden it becomes thirst. And if like you said, if you're not a certain person's type, then just say that. But don't correlate that to thirst. Like, you know,
But they also still have to. That also, I think, uplifts those type of certain females' egos to the fact that someone even hollered at them, and they just got to make it known that this person said something to me. So later on in life, where someone that they know maybe not have got along with dealing with this person, like, oh, well, your nigga trying to holler at me, what is thirsty ass? Like, females are mentally challenged, shall I say. They've been brainwashed by every dick they sat on. So take a little piece of something and correlate it together and try to put it together the way they can.
Oh my
and
God.
Try to make it something. So it don't matter. Like, I don't know. Women are different. Men are different. We all different. So like we said,
Because I mean, there's
last show, there's no need to judge one another because at the end of the day, women are more sneakier than men. Men and women nowadays are doing the same things, judging the same things. Brokenhearted, speaking from pain, anger, frustration, calling out all men and all this. Like, it's.
because brothers gotta get it together too. We can't just sit here and act
I
like.
totally
you know what I'm
agree.
saying?
That's the man is the one that's going to marry the woman. So if a woman can get herself in order to try to be that woman for you, then yes, you should recalculate your shit and try to be a better man for a woman, or at least try. It might not be your person, but attempting to try that doesn't hurt versus trying to have all the hoes.
I'm not gonna make no excuse.
So who's
I don't want to make no excuse for any brothers or young brothers, but I just want to say that most of the time, when brothers coming at women and it's not in the right way, it's because they're not being taught. And the reason why they're not being taught is because there's no male figure in the home most of the time.
And then the fact that the men that they deal with, seeing the type of men that they are, and they see some women dealing with certain men, and they're like, oh, well, I'm supposed to be called a bitch, or I'm supposed to sit here on the sideline, or whatever, just to fit in with that person. You know what I'm saying? So
where did the side brother come from?
I feel like over what you just said,
because that good brother wasn't good enough.
I have to disagree.
So you got to step down
that part.
off the throne to go deal with a peasant and ruin her whole little castle.
So let me ask you this question after what you just said.
With 2 minutes.
So I feel like I really feel like as far as when it comes to women, daughters, all that, I hold them to the highest standard. So I feel like I said, you can't be allowing your daughters to be dealing with peasant motherfuckers, all that kind of shit.
You can't control none of that.
You're right. I agree with you. So, but I feel like in the forefront, as far as when it comes to your daughters, you have to, like I said, build them up to where they know, you know what I'm saying, they can't be dealing with these riff-raff ass motherfuckers that don't got nothing going for them. Hey, baby girl type motherfuckers. They already know this ain't the motherfucker for me. Kick rocks, motherfucker, move about your day.
How are they getting that information?
But how you know?
They see from their actions that you have with your old man. You know what I'm saying? They see that.
But what I'm saying is, before that, there's a good percentage of homes where the man isn't there.
You're right. So what I'm saying,
so most of the women can't learn
my
from
brother,
the father.
How she to know what a bad man is if she never experienced or seen that either. So most women that are brought up in a good father there or father being around, they go outside the box and they're the ones dealing with the drug dealers.
You're right, but see,
niggas and this, that, and the third, beating their ass and cheating on them day in, day out.
But if you say that they've seen that with their parents as far as the loving father, you can't say that they're naive to what an actual real man is.
But that's because they
choose to. But that's not.
They failed the test.
You can't say that they failed the test because you showed them you did your job, right?
But they failed.
You can't say that they failed the test. You
You only you can't make them.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying you can't beat yourself up, but you did your job.
Right.
It's like any parent. You make sure that they do this like graduating high school, just like with Kate. I'm saying you make sure he got through all the shit in high school, didn't F up or whatever came in, none of the extra shit. He graduated. So you did your job. Well, what the motherfucker, who they choose to deal with, that's not something that you can beat yourself about. That's who they choose. Maybe you can say, maybe I didn't do I should have done a better job here. This is me.
I beg to differ because I say that respectfully because one, you only have one kid and he's not really, he's younger. So you don't know, you can't really say that until he starts coming of age and start.
Or them little honey things that's
coming, you know what I'm saying? So I respectfully disagree, Brother Black, on that one, but you know what I'm saying? Overall, I do
just like
agree with what you're saying.
The preacher daughter,
exactly.
She goes to the thug, and you think she's supposed to marry the little deacon.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Or you got the nun,
go there.
you know, that's sneaking out. You know, everything is opposites attract.
There you go.
So a good woman likes a little aggressive man. Aggressive woman likes
a That's cap. Every woman wants a certain little thug in a man. You know what I'm saying? A little aggressive. Some certain women.
I ain't saying beat me. Or girl, you gotta sit down and be quiet.
I gotta do this real quick.
Get your thoughts.
Squadcast don't condone any domestic violence whatsoever. Anything on women or men, anything like that. Don't try to come at us with that BS. We don't support that.
Not at all.
I have to do that disclaimer out there. I don't want YouTube flags.
No, but I don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody like what they like. But there's still, you have to look at different categories of every female man perspective of what a woman likes. Yeah. But sometimes you could be dating for that and you think you have that because one is trying to portray what they really are.
That part.
So you could go find someone that's saying, got the proof to back up whatever the story they got, you know what I'm saying? But here he done murdered 7 motherfuckers using the alias and more shit, got me hostage now, and I'm in the wrong.
Yep, because you didn't do your background. Hell yeah, you is.
So now same with women, like you think you got you Sally Mae, Molly Mae, and here she is, a hood rat booger that don't.
Hey, shout out to the battle rapper Yoshi G. She actually kind of touched on this on Twitter about. I mean, I know this is battle rap related, but it kind of correlates a little bit because she was talking about how women be having so much on their background as far as the dirt they did or whatever the case may be, and then they go to a new state, move to a new state, new brother, all that shit don't exist no more, you know, because they don't know about it, what they're getting themselves into, you know what I'm saying, and how could they know, especially if they just meet this person who's moving from Indiana to Baltimore or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying, but she was kind of talking about that shit and just, you know, just make you think about it, a little bit of stuff, you know what I'm saying, and they go to the same thing with brothers too, because I've seen some.
But even a man that knows you from a different state, sometimes they don't even give a fuck.
And they be
corn billions too. Target, since you knew around here, I'm the first target. Part. Oh yes, I'm a gentleman.
I'm a nice guy.
Respectfully.
Then your house is a trap house.
And then it's a trap
house. Feds is watching.
Feds is watching. All the acronyms. All the acronyms.
I don't know. Everybody different, like I said. Everybody's situation is different.
I think this needs to be different.
Y'all gotta wake up and, you know, do your research on your peoples and what you're dealing with, how you dealing with them, what you want, what you expect. Lay that out on the table.
Now you like that? Hey girl, hey man, where you going? If you like the guy shit, by all means, keep it going. But you ain't getting nowhere.
I feel you. I'm glad we talked about this. I feel like this needs to be discussed. There's some women that do
that too, that shoot their shot.
Oh, they shoot their shot. You know what I'm saying? And they some.
Hey, daddy. Hey, big head. You know what I'm saying?
You said, get your goof ass on.
But they take those women as jokes because they're so high strung.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I hear you.
Some men don't go for the woman that's aggressive, you know, like the man that's, hey baby. There's women that's, what's up? Ooh, let me get your number. Ooh, you know, that's aggressive, you know. The man typically is supposed to get the woman, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, we definitely in different
What you saying?
societies.
That shit ain't cute.
We definitely in different times though, because
so
I've seen
got a
women
woman that's more
propose to men.
aggressive, like, oh, you probably holler at everybody.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I'm saying?
But we also in a generation where I've seen women propose to men. You know what I'm saying, as far as marriages. And
I
shit
don't
like
feel
that.
there's anything wrong with
I'm
that.
not saying that there is,
But
but it's stereotypically
if a
it's
man
always
is
supposed
in
to
the
be the
right
man to do
space
that.
to know that it's going to be a yes at the end of that, then that's okay. If you don't know, he's going to say yes.
You
There's
risk it all.
relationships that he
You
ain't
risk
even
it all.
trying to press marriage. Don't do that, sis.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the
Please.
channel. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, IG, Twitter, all that other good stuff. I think we should go ahead and cut that joint short right there. I think we just educated and got a lot of different perspectives. Brother Black, I think you got something for us to go ahead and close this out.
I would just say.
No, the.
I know.
Okay.
I would just say
Quan. I don't want to say his name wrong. Is it Kanye Jones?
Quan.
Quan. Just Quan. So. I'm just gonna say sorry, Quan, for that bullshit I seen on the news today as far as what the motherfuckers got off on probation. You mean to they damn near killed my boy, and these motherfuckers get off on probation? That shit's time for
1 year.
1 year probation. They damn near killed this man.
So if y'all don't
It was
know,
a fucking hate crime, but they didn't label us that because in the state of Iowa, there's no such thing as a hate crime.
but
Fuck
if y'all don't know, Quan was brutally beaten by actually two Caucasian men on the south side of Des Moines, Iowa.
Crackers.
He was actually on our platform. You can go to our channel right now and you can look at the show and you can look at him, get his story, and get detail for detail of what happened from himself.
And you tell me if that shit was justified to be for these motherfuckers to get fucking probation for a year. Fuck ass. I bet you if we would have stopped a mud hole and two motherfucking white boys or cut the motherfucking face off or anything, we wouldn't have no fucking probation. We'd be underneath the jail. Fuck out of here.
Lethal injection.
That part too, but I didn't want to go that far.
So, Brother Black,
I'm done.
I think that was a great Black attack.
That shit was fucking
I think
bullshit.
that was definitely needed to be said.
Let us do some shit like
I
that.
appreciate you highlighting this type of shit that's going on where we live and in our community. Seriously,
That shit,
it's very
like,
frustrating.
that shit's mind-boggling and baffling. Like, I'm shocked and appalled. Fuck Friday. This shit is, like, really angering me. Like, for real, for real.
It don't matter.
Like, yo, it's been 2 years since y'all fucking gave this motherfucker probation?
It shouldn't matter. Like, just listening to a story, if you have a heart, you ain't racist or anything in that nature, judge, prosecutor, anything, like, you should stand up within your community.
I was a
like,
fucking joke.
This is not okay. Like, this is, like, all the facts are there. He's beat up. I can see if maybe they could have turned it around if maybe Quan ended up.
My boy had a whole fucking scratch on his face. What are y'all talking about? They didn't try and murder him? No hate crime, no nothing, no attempted murder? Fucking probation?
Yeah, Brother Black.
Fucking killing me.
Hey, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to
I'm done. I'm going to say what I want to say. But yeah, y'all have a good day.
Subscribe.